RoidGearNet News. Bodybuilding champion 39 died from sepsis contracted through his secret cocaine habit. An inquest heard fit and healthy Darren Vernon didn't tell doctors he had taken cocaine. A bodybuilding champion died from sepsis. He contracted the virus through his secret use of cocaine, an inquest heard. Fit and healthy Darren Vernon, aged just 39, had been admitted to the hospital with a deadly infection after complaining of stomach cramps and fever, but despite being asked whether he had taken anything, the father of two never told doctors he had ingested the drug. Mr. Vernon's condition deteriorated, and he died 6 hours later, with doctors subsequently discovering he had traces of cocaine in his system, which caused bacteria to poison his bloodstream. His family knew nothing of the drug taking. Mr. Vernon, an architect from Blackley, Manchester, first attained a first-class honors degree, began bodybuilding when he was 16 and subsequently entered a series of competitions, including Mr. Universe. He won the British titles in natural bodybuilding for the British National Bodybuilding Federation in Glasgow, and went on to become world champion for the International Fitness and Physique Association in Washington, D.C. But tragedy struck in July last year, when he was admitted to A&E at North Manchester General Hospital, with severe stomach cramps and fever just days after he entered another contest, and just 48 hours after he had celebrated his birthday. His mother, Audrey Paris, told the Manchester hearing, "I last spoke to him on his birthday and he said he was going to Cheshire Oaks. The next day he thought he was coming down with something flu-like, but at around 8:45 p.m. that evening, his partner was so worried she called an ambulance. At around 3 a.m. the following morning, she called me from Darren's phone and I could hear him in the background, and his breathing sounded funny. She said she would keep me in the loop, but the next call I got was about 4 a.m. And she said, 'Is that my son I can hear in the background?' All she could hear was him wailing. The noise he made was so concerning. I know my son was dying and nothing could have made him make that noise. I got the impression the staff only acted quickly when there was significant deterioration, and then it was too late." She added, "He had a competition on the Saturday before he died. It was the first one he had done for quite some time. Even when he was not competing, he would still go to the gym about 3 times a week. It was his main passion. He was a fit and healthy man. As far as I know, he smoked cannabis on a weekly basis, but he only drank on social occasions, and I've never known him to take any other drugs." Dr. James Butler, consultant in emergency medicine at North Manchester General Hospital, said doctors tested Mr. Vernon's chest, heart, and bowel, which came back normal. But they became concerned about blood tests, which showed abnormal liver functions and a low white blood cell count. Dr. Butler added, "It was clear there was something wrong, but not exactly what it was. It was suspected that he had sepsis, but staff did not know where it was coming from. He had ongoing pain and was asked specifically about drug use on a number of occasions, and as he was a bodybuilder, he was asked specifically about steroids, but no use of drugs were mentioned. Throughout the time in the hospital, he was asked if he had taken any drugs and he denied it. Mr. Vernon was given antibiotics, but his condition deteriorated, and he was moved to intensive care, when he suffered a fatal cardiac arrest. He passed away at 5:40 a.m., despite attempts to revive him." Dr. Butler said, "Even if we had known he had taken cocaine, the treatment would not have changed. He was given the right treatment for presentation of sepsis and was treated for shock. But it would have been useful to know about the cocaine, as that may have changed when intensive care staff approached the situation, but ultimately, treatment would have been the same." A now recognized feature of cocaine use is that it allows bacteria to enter the bloodstream. This is not a common thing that staff has seen in the hospital, and we'll put this into our education to our juniors and put it across the whole NHS trust. The staff who were there that night did the right thing. I would like to think it could have been done quicker, but I do not think that would have changed the outcome. The staff were really upset. This is fairly significant for professionals to feel that way. They'd analyzed everything they were doing. His temperature came down, his heart rate was normal. The staff were dealing with a very seriously ill man, who may have looked like he was getting better. Pathologist Dr. Amir Benbow recorded the cause of death as sepsis due to misuse of cocaine. He said, "There is a significant association between sepsis and the usage of cocaine. Bacteria may have entered the bloodstream from the intestine, which is the effect of cocaine use." Recording a conclusion of drug-related death, Coroner Gene Harkin said, "The evidence regarding cocaine use has come as a shock, and equally so has the death of a very fit and healthy 39-year-old. In a tribute to Mr. Vernon on the GoFundMe website, a friend said, "He was a world-class dad and an amazing partner, son, brother, uncle, nephew, cousin, grandson, and not forgetting a world-class friend and a true inspiration to so many. Because of his true love and dedication to the gym, he became an inspiration to so many and spent a lot of his time helping and encouraging others. This saw Darren become a massive pillar in his community, as well as inspiring people across the nation and even worldwide." His mother said in a local newspaper interview, "He stood out from the crowd and had an aura around him. Throughout his whole life he was remarkable. His passing shocked me, but I think subconsciously I was expecting it. He crammed so much into his 39 years. He was not tall, but he was a giant of a man. He had the words, 'Everything happens for a reason,' tattooed on his body in Latin, and it was a phrase he used a lot. He was light years ahead of everyone else." Brought to you by RoidGearNet. Build your body with RoidGearNet.